welcome back to my video on installing Windows 10 Insider Preview on a Hyper-V machine. Same applies for a physical PC or laptop. It's got the ISO mounted or DVD in the DVD drive and power on your machine. If you don't have an OS already installed, it will auto boot off of the DVD. Otherwise, just check in the BIOS and have that boot off of the DVD. So, language to install, leave that as United States English. Time and currency, as I'm in New Zealand, I'll select English New Zealand. Click on next and install now. This is a little bit quicker as this is an ISO on an SSD, but it doesn't take very long off of the DVD in a DVD drive. If you've got the serial number, just type that in, otherwise you can click the skip button and you can enter it later. Either select the Pro Edition or Home Edition and click Next. Of course, you have to tick the you accept the terms and conditions. Don't have to click on New, but if you want to see what partitions it's creating and what sizes it's creating it, you can do that and then just click Next. It's auto-selected the largest partition for the Windows install. So it copies the Windows files pretty quickly, but then it takes a bit on this getting files ready for installation section. So I'll just stop talking now and I won't skip the install part, but I'll just speed it up so that it doesn't take the full amount of time. So it's been about 3 minutes, and once it gets up to 90%/100% of getting files ready for installation, then gets through the installing features and installing updates pretty quickly, and then finishing up, and it then comes up with the first restart. Thing to remember with this restart, you can either hit restart now or just wait for it to do its little countdown. Do not boot off of the ISO again, or if you have your machine boot from ISO first, just make sure it doesn't actually boot off of the DVD, as that will start the whole process again. So as I've got a UEFI firmware rather than the BIOS, it still says Hyper-V on the screen. If you've got a Dell, say Dell. If you've got a Toshiba, have Toshiba written there. If you've got the Windows 10 logo, your BIOS is still set to legacy, so it's still a BIOS rather than the UEFI firmware. But it doesn't make too much difference. So yeah, it just goes through and gets devices ready, and it gets the OS ready. Once again, this takes a few minutes on this, so I'll stop talking and I'll just get the video to speed up a bit and join you again shortly. So the install part has just about finished. As we didn't put a product key in during the initial part of the installation, it's coming up and asking us for this again. Seeing as I've got it on a different screen, I'll start typing it in. But you can hit do this later. You can use Express Settings, which just sets things up to the recommended Microsoft way. And then it just sits there just for a moment as it goes in and applies those settings that you've just put in. So who owns this PC? It's pretty important to answer this correctly, as it does set things up. So yes, just click I do if that's what you want. If you've got a Microsoft account, I do recommend doing that, seeing as this is just a test PC. Just told it to create a local account. It's just creating that, and the password clearly isn't secure there, and it does require a password reminder if you do put in a password. But if you don't want a password, you don't have to put one in. So once it starts saying hi, that's actually going in and creating your user profile. Each user account that you have on a computer has a user profile, and this is where it stores all of your user settings. So as it's doing all this, it's just creating that, setting up the default apps. If you've signed in with a Microsoft account, which is definitely the recommended way to go, that goes in and pulls in all of your account profile settings that you have sync. So your theme, your store, starts getting your apps ready to download. If you've got any backups set up within your apps and stuff, downloads those as well. So it's definitely recommended to go with your Microsoft account if you're wanting that. It definitely makes things nice between logging in on different computers. You've got a Windows Phone, it can sync stuff between Windows Phone and Big Brother Windows PC as well. So there you go. It's now on the start screen and you've got your own install of Windows 10. Check out my other videos for setting it up.